the second season of Travel People. Today, I'm very excited about this first guest. Her name is Miss Amy Fairfield, and we met in Morocco at the American School of Marrakesh, where we both taught, and she still has a notebook and is taking notes there. But let me tell you, this girl she has gone to a lot of other places since I last saw her, and I'm so excited to get to catch up. And Amy, tell them what is in the background.
Okay, so I am in Dubai right now, right in the heart of the Dubai Marina. Yeah.
So her apartment is amazing, and she's right there. Any iconic buildings you've ever seen, any pictures you've seen of the Marina and the Persian Gulf are just right outside
right here. If you look right out this way, I'm not going to try to show you because you can't see it very well because it's night and with the glare, but the wheel, the Dubai, the Ain Dubai is right outside, and so is what we call the Persian Gulf. So I look out over the sea. You can't, like I said, it's night, you can't see it right now, but it does have a good view. And I was telling Cindy that I ended up with this place because it was sitting empty during lockdown. So the UAE locked down really early last year, the end of March. We had mandatory masks, and we still have that now. You have to wear a mask to go outside, but they went really early. And for about 2 months last spring, you had to apply for a permit to leave your house. You couldn't go anywhere and that kind of thing. So a lot of apartments all over Dubai, probably all over the region, were sitting empty. And I have a friend that lives in this building. She lives upstairs. And she saw it on Property Finder or something. And she was like, oh, this place is empty. And she came down, it was open because Dubai is really, really safe. People don't always lock their doors. Like we were just looking at a couple of apartments in this building that are 2 bedrooms. Last night, I'm in a 1 bed. You can just go in and look around. So she came in and took some videos. And like I said, this place was sitting empty during lockdown, which is how otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to afford an apartment with this kind of view. But that was one positive of the pandemic last year for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're watching this thinking about what kind of things can I do in Dubai, I mean, there's obvious, like Dubai, it's pretty easy since it's such a tourist destination. It's really easy to quickly figure out what to do here, like your must-dos. You have to go up the Burj Khalifa, of course, Burj Al Arab. Then there's the souk, which is the marketplace. Like there's the souk Mananat, which is by the Burj Al Arab. I had lunch there with a friend earlier today. There's another souk Al Bahar that's next to the Burj Khalifa. And then there's like the more like traditional, like the old Dubai, but I'll give you a little hint. Nothing in Dubai is old.
That's what I was.
It's only 50 years old, and this souk is not even that old, but it's called Al Stif. And it is nice to go and look around, and like there's little boats and there's like a marketplace. But I was sort of probably unnecessarily snotty about that because in Morocco, I'm like, well, we have the real marketplaces there, but it is still like really, really nice to go and look around. And especially if you haven't traveled to this part of the world, it's definitely a must see. But yeah, and like, so Cindy said, that's another thing. Like if you live here or if you're traveling here, like a must do is a pool day. And there's all kinds, like at your doorstep, there'll be all kinds of options for about between $30 and $50, probably all inclusive. It'll be a really nice pool. You can get food and drink, and it's just a nice way to spend an afternoon, like with your partner, with your girlfriends, or even by yourself if you just want to go and relax. So that's a really popular thing to do here. I know this sounds ridiculous, but must-dos in Dubai, there's a couple of really nice malls. And before I moved here, I was always like, I'm not moving there. I don't want to go to the mall. But they are really nice. And you do end up caving and going to the mall because they have like, there's things to do in them. There's like movies and skiing. Like there's the ski slope in the Mall of the Emirates, and there's an aquarium in the Dubai Mall. So you do end up going to the mall, and they are really, really nice. Like they've done them up nice, but you have to bear in mind, like, it's not just like in the 90s when you went, you know, and you got your Annie's pretzel and went to, you know, Claire's or whatever. But it's so hot outside. It would be like 125, 126.
Oh
Like
my
it gets
gosh.
really, really
Oh my
hot here.
gosh.
But it's gorgeous, like during the winter months, end of October to March, and then even into April. It's just beautiful and just crystal clear weather and really, really a nice place to be. But in the summer, it gets a little nasty. Another thing, once the world kind of gets back to normal, that I have some pictures of that you guys may be able to see here, is to do a drive. I would highly recommend doing a drive to Oman. The Omani border is just about 2 hours away. And it's really interesting to see what the landscape looks like when you get just outside of Dubai. I mean, like, you can see the buildings behind me, so it's really, really urban, but not even if you go straight out with no traffic, not even 10 or 15 minutes, like you're in the desert. Camels in their natural habitat on the side of the road. For spring break, I have pictures of this too. I went about an hour away to a resort. Go on, it's called a dhow boat, and it's a traditional boat from this region. And they used them to do the pearl diving in the past. Like that was one of their main sources of income and a big part of their economy just until up about less than 100 years ago was pearl diving. So they would use these dhow boats to go out and get the pearls, but you can go on them now. And again, I think you'll see the pictures, but it's just gorgeous clear water in the Gulf of Oman there. And you go out and you can go snorkeling and kayaking and swimming. And we saw dolphins and a whale shark. And it's just I've done it twice now. You stay overnight on the boat and they cook for you. And it's like you don't have self-service and it's just completely peaceful. And, the stars come out and we saw the phytoplankton. Like I woke up in the middle of the night with two of my colleagues and like we could see that the phytoplankton, like the bioluminescence was in the water.